Once upon a time in Black entrepreneur history, there lived many African Americans who were formerly enslaved who went west of the Mississippi River to found a town called Nicodemus, Kansas. Let's get into how they did it. So it was the end of the Civil War. Our ancestors were free, but the law still sucked. There were slave codes still, black codes, Jim Crows, all that just piled up. And African Americans wanted to get away from that. Stat. So they grabbed all they could and went out west of the Mississippi River around the area now known as Kansas. There was land up for grabs, and they grabbed it. Now I'm saying it as if it was easy, but it wasn't. They had to go through, that was a long journey. So they had to go through not only the journey itself, but they had to pass through a bunch of racists. Okay, so just imagine. They get to the spot, and in 1877, Nicodemus, Kansas was founded. Immediately, they started building. They needed somewhere to live, so they made homes out of sod first. And it was later, as the economy grew, they started building framed homes. And not only homes, they built businesses as well. At the start, there was like 275 people there. And then it grew and grew and grew. They started their own bank, the Bank of Nicodemus. They had their own newspaper. They had their own grocery stores, which sold everything from like clothes to groceries, something like a Walmart. They had their own law offices, doctor's offices. There was even the Nicodemus Brass Band. They had their own hotels and pharmacies, meat markets, the works. They even had their own political movement. Yeah, they were really, really big on elections. The one thing African Americans knew they needed was political voting power. It was with their voting power that they elected some of the first politicians to the state of Kansas who were African American. Now, back then, the growth of Nicodemus, Kansas was huge. However, the railway station, they were all looking forward to coming through the town because this would make the economy in Nicodemus, Kansas boom even more. However, the railway station fell through. This resulted in many people moving from the area, but not all left. Nicodemus, Kansas is still here today. It's actually a National Historic Site and landmark. As a matter of fact, if you ever visit, you can get a full tour. And on that tour, you might even meet some of the descendants of the original founders. Because yes, they are still there. It's time to pay Nicodemus a visit.